Welcome to Backhart's Hobbies. Tonight I've got two types of labor I need to work on. Number one, I've got to put the brake pads back together on the brake discs and the shoes, and that's just a bunch of manual labor. There's not a lot of interesting things happening there. I think that should be pretty easy. Once I figure out how to best flatten out the top of those pins, they got to be flattened out. So that's one thing. I got to remove the old ones too. But that's like not really complicated work. I'm not worried about that one. What I am worried about is that I continue to see more problems, more things that I either A, did wrong, or B, that I haven't figured out yet. And so I don't want to reassemble anything that I haven't figured out yet. For example, I put these brake carriers back on last video, and on this side, which is the left side, the driver's left arm, if you will, I used the cover of the brakes to use a couple of nuts and bolts to push it back into place. Well, as a result of that, the rubber from the seal got kind of messed up. I thought I had enough oil on it, but maybe I didn't. So shoot, okay? I don't think that seal is going to make it. It's been like that for 2 weeks because, well, I haven't worked on the project for a while. That's one of the side effects of a randomly back hurt problem that just, I want to lay in bed all day. So that kind of sucks. Something else I noticed, I cleaned the dirt really well off of that seal. Now this is the wheel carrier there, the hub, and that seal leaks. So that means that if I put all this back together and I don't replace that seal, it's always going to leak. Now, how am I going to fix that? I think I have to take this hub off in order to do it, and that's not a big deal. My guess is that this side suffers from the exact same condition. It's just that you can't see it because it's caked in a very thick, dirty mud. So I take two hubs off. I'll want to mark where they are so that when I assemble this back together, it's like it was when I bought it. But they are adjustable. It's meant to be adjusted if you're row crop farming and you need it thinner or wider. You move that hub out or in, and hopefully those big, gigantic, the nuts and the bolts will come apart easy. But I think it's worthwhile replacing those seals. In fact, I already thought that because I bought some. So, okay, well, that was an obvious one. I haven't looked yet at this seal really closely. Let's do that real quick. Ooh, on the top it looks good. Bottom looks fine. There's a little bit of fluid. I'll bet you that was oil that was on there when I put it on. So I think this side went together a lot better because I put oil on the torque tube, this part, before I tried to push the carrier, that part, on. So this side is probably perfect and ready to be permanently done. Except for this little problem. There's a shaft that goes between these two brake carriers. It's the part that holds it all together when I want to lock the differential. And I'm positive that shaft should move back and forth. In fact, I'm positive that it should be able to be pushed into the left side carrier. And it's not at the moment bound up with either side. So let me demonstrate this. So I realize we've done videos like this a couple of times already. I'm almost done fiddling with this area, but what I'd like to point out is that the pinion here, this is connected to everything back here, right? It's what gets the power fed from the transmission. But if it's locked in place, for example, if I pop this into gear, I try to turn it, it doesn't move, right? Okay, so that's solid. What also happens is this end over here, it's rock hard. This part is connected. Oh, how am I able to turn that? I shouldn't do it. I'm gonna put it in first gear instead of reverse. Oh yeah, that's better. So this shaft is bound to the pinion, and it's not bound at all to either side of these. As you can see, I can turn both of those just fine. So I believe that this shaft, in addition to having a collar that engages it with this side, the driver's right-hand side of the tractor, the shaft also must be able to travel further this direction and sync up with the driver's left arm. So I've been tapping it, doesn't move. It's seized. So what does that mean? What's happening on the other side? So on the right side, we've got an open brake. What do you even call that thing down there? Anyway, it's hollow. It's got a shaft coming through it. On the left side, there is what I have decided is basically a freeze plug. So the same thing that you would see on the block of an old, I guess any engine has them. And I don't feel like it's held in there by any pins or anything. So this could be probably easily pushed out of this side, but I have a feeling there's a spring behind it. And I think the shaft is already partly in here. And the reason I say that, and let me get some light. If we focus on this gear here on this side, eventually you'll see a hole has been drilled in it. Let's see if we can get, there it is, there's a hole. Let me get the tractor out of gear. Let's see how I can do this. Give me one second. So it's kind of difficult to see because of the poor lighting, and I'm really sorry that the lighting isn't better. Let me see if I can get my flashlight to help us here. But I need my hand. So let's see, can we leave the flashlight somewhere? Oh, that's probably not good for it. How about right there? Oh yeah, that's a good lighting. Don't move. If I hold this brake side solid and I turn the shaft, look at that. It's just moving in there, no problem. So what we haven't seen yet, I or you or anybody, is what that shaft actually looks like as it passes through the pinion gear, the ring. And we haven't seen what is between the end of the shaft over there and the little freeze plug that I just kind of recently identified as a freeze plug. So I don't know, if I drill out and pull out that freeze plug, so if I drill this out and pull that freeze plug out of there, and then I have to take this carrier off anyway, what does that buy me? Does it help me move the shaft back that direction if I tap on the end of it? I don't know if I can find this freeze plug anywhere. That might be the main reason I don't do that. But I for sure need to take this carrier off. The seal it's probably going to have to be replaced. What can I do with what I've already done so far, which is to just take the carriers off to get that shaft out of there? And the answer is nothing. Nothing that I've done so far has given me the ability to smack that shaft any direction other than in towards the other side of the tractor. And I think the only way to do more is to actually disconnect these gigantic gears here. Take out those gigantic bolts there, or those nuts, sorry. Remove these, remove the axles, and that might allow me to pull the brake part through the hole where the carrier is. And now, voila, I have access to an area that I can't see and that I have a lot of suspicion about being a problem area in the tractor, especially since the things that I think are bad happened when I was slowing down the tractor with one wheel versus not slowing down the other wheel. And I know I didn't catch it on video, and I keep describing it as a horrendous sound, but the reality is something's wrong, and I don't know where the problem is, so I have to keep taking apart. Something else that I think I have to take apart sooner or later, I don't think that matters, is I've got to pull this cover off here so that I can trace the return hose that I broke. Maybe I even have to take off this cover here. So both of those have a gasket, which kind of sucks if I mess up the gasket. This one has some electronics that I'm going to need to disconnect. Not a big deal. Probably want to take this hose off. Again, those are not big deals. The gaskets, I'll probably have to make new gaskets. What scares me is that I'm actually tempted to pull the drive shafts from the axles off. That kind of scares me, but I honestly, I don't see how I can possibly further my discovery about the differential lock and the health of that part of this tractor. Plus the seals on the ends of the shafts probably would benefit, excuse me, from being taken off. So I'm just going to start taking more things off the tractor. We'll do a little quiet time, and you guys can just watch as I continue to disassemble and make more discovery. I guess we're just making discoveries. I'm thankful to all of you that are paying attention. Thank you so much for watching. My friends too, I appreciate you guys watching and commenting. You're actually really dear to me, and I appreciate it. And then all of you that are subscribing, thank you as well. I would love to have YouTube pay me every once in a while. I'm not counting on it for an income or anything, but you know, what a dream come true. You're doing your hobby and making some extra money. So let's start further removal of the stuff on the back end of this tractor. All right, let's pull this off, and then we'll do a quick inspection of it together. Come on. Oh my goodness, come on. I should have left it high-speed video here. This is boring. The O-ring is already out. I can feel it. I don't think it's too damaged. So what is holding it in here? There we go. Okay, let me take this over to the bench. It's kind of embarrassing, but the only really flat spot I've got in my shop is right there, so I gotta kind of do a goofy step here, a step there to get to it without knocking stuff over. I do need to add cleaning things up after myself to the list of to-dos. But let's get in kind of close here and see what the damage is. So right off the bat, I'm seeing some distortion right there. Boy, it actually looks like it's cleaned up pretty nice, if I'm being honest. Maybe that seal is going to be okay. It's a little dry down here. That's probably me. That's probably my fault. Of course, this would have been the bottom, so it's where the oil went to. If I run my fingers along it, yeah, right there is the only spot. I mean, I feel the lettering, but I don't know. Maybe this still is going to be okay. Let's pop it over and look at the other side. So there's some oil buildup there. Nothing to be concerned about. You know what? Maybe this seal is going to be okay. This is something. The spring as far as I know, the spring goes on the inside of stuff. So it was correct to install this with the spring toward the inside. Anyone that knows better, please correct me on that so that I can, when I reassemble it, if I end up putting a new seal on it, get it in the correct direction. And then the O-ring. Oh, the O-ring feels fine. Okay, I don't think we spent any money doing this. I think we're gonna be okay. I don't think we had to buy new parts. So okay, excellent. We didn't shoot ourselves in the foot very much more. We still probably put those both sides on early, but for now I only want to have, yeah, see, I was trying to get away from that without bumping it. Can't do it when your shop's a mess. So here we are again. The brake carrier has been removed and the shaft, that's what I'm gonna call it. The brake shaft is loose, but it is bound. You see, that is the big gear. And if I want this to come out of the tractor at all, it ain't happening. Note, that is going in and out really smoothly, and it's doing it while riding the differential lock shaft. That's interesting. So I think I already knew that. It's over here. It's on this side, but it is smooth. So not broken, which means the place that it's broken is probably where the shaft and the splines, both sides of it, are hidden underneath the pinion, the ring, sorry. Shoot. Yeah, all of this is going to be difficult to acquire if I want to buy anything. So let's see if it's possible to remove that gigantic gear that's connected to the axle rod. If we can, then we might be able to get this side out, and then we can tap on the shaft and see if we can get it out. Side note, it's kind of hot in my shop tonight. Southern Utah does get warm. So I'm going to turn on the swamp cooler, which is very conveniently over here in the window. Very nice. And I think I said one of my hobbies was home automation stuff. I still have a little bit of work to do on this guy. This is my switch for turning on and off my swamp cooler. It's pretty simple. That's a little ESP8266 Wi-Fi capable chip. And then 3 little 3.5 volt to, switch relays. And then all of that is wired out to the AC. I start this using the little web interface that is available for that guy. And I'll try to get a screen grab of me doing that. But if you are interested in knowing how I programmed, deployed this, wired it up and stuff, please let me know. I would love to make videos about that stuff, but if you guys aren't interested, it would be a waste of my time and yours. So please let me know if you are at all interested in knowing about home automation stuff with ESP devices. So give me 1 second. I'm going to turn on the water. Oh, it's already on. Okay. And then I got to use my phone to turn it on. So 1 second. So first I'm going to turn on the water. I let it drain out when I'm done, and that way I always get nice clean water in there. The water here is really heavy, so it's nice to have an outlet so it doesn't all evaporate. But yeah, we'll get this going. All right, mission accomplished. The swamp cooler is running, and I'm going to crack the door, lift it up a little bit to bring a little bit more airflow across the rear end of this tractor. But and also I moved that Christmas stuff where it belongs. So now I can capture much better shots because I've got all this room behind the tractor. So should have done that months ago, but In a shop, things happen when they happen. I snapped a screenshot of the web page that little device uses, and you'll notice, I'll point it out, it's got humidity and temperature. I haven't done it yet, but it should be really easy. I've got little temperature sensors that I need to run outside and protect from the rain, and have one inside, and it can be in the open air. So I can compare humidity levels. If it's really humid outside, I shouldn't be running a swamp cooler. It doesn't do any good. But if it's really dry outside and really dry in here, and it's 90 degrees, I can run that swamp cooler, and it should cool things down a lot. So, like I said, if you would like more content about home automation stuff, let me know and I'll start making it. Okay, so it makes sense. The next thing to do is to take off that gigantic nut and try to withdraw the axle a little bit. I'm scared. I don't know if that nut's going to come loose with the tools I have, which is just going to be a crescent wrench. And then I don't know if I'm going to be fighting against bearings on both sides in an attempt to remove it. And there's not a lot of room in there. So we're just like us, we're going to learn together. So let me get the camera angled back into it, and I'll attack it. And I might leave it at regular speed. Maybe I'll go 1.5 this time, and try to get you a little bit of detail about it, because this is brand new for me. It's a new day, and I haven't done anything on this tractor since the last time I recorded. I got interrupted and had to leave. But I'm no longer sure about what I was planning to do. There is absolutely no way that I'm removing this gear here without retracting the axle. And I don't think I can just retract the axle. I think I have to disconnect the entire unit there. And if I have to do that, it's how I'm holding the tractor up, which isn't that big of a deal. I have to disconnect the loader. I have to disconnect all the bolts that hold that. I have to then, with all that heavy weight, retract that thing away after I get to turn that thing. And oh my gosh, I just can't help this feeling that I'm being dumb. So I'm going to take off the carrier on this side real quick, and I'm just going to wiggle and see if I can remove the carrier on this side. If I can find a way to remove the carrier on this side, maybe I can then translate that into removing the carrier from the other side. If that doesn't work, then I am convinced it would be cheaper and easier for me to punch out this little block, this little plug, and see what I can do with access to that. If I can open this up and then pound the shaft out the center, it might make it easier to remove both of these from the rack and pinion. That's possible. It also might expose, the ability to remove that shaft and then inspect the shaft. And if everything looks perfect, then it would be a huge waste of time for me to disconnect the axles off of this tractor. So I think I'm going to try and fiddle with it before I try the big removal. And I don't think my other tractors have the same axles, and so I don't think I can use them for spare parts. So I can't break stuff, don't want to try to buy stuff, and I don't want to take stuff off I don't absolutely need to. So here we go. All right, I don't know what I was hoping to accomplish. It's the exact same situation as last time. They're too bound in there. You can't move one without moving the other. So I can get this one to where it feels, it's quite a bit removed, but it's kept in by these. These are way too in the way. So I don't want to give up, and I think I'm going to try and remove that nut. Dang it, it's gigantic. So let's just get to it. To help me with this venture, I went ahead and did a thing. Holy cow. Went over to Harbor Freight and looked at their wrenches. and found these kits. These are the biggest wrenches. I'm sorry I'm laughing, but they're just humongous. Oh my gosh. Oh, it makes me laugh. I mean, up to 2.5. Holy cow. Okay, let's put them to work. Sorry, I had to laugh for a second. They're just, oh my gosh, they're huge. Okay, first thing to do, we got to remove a gigantic cotter pin. Ow. Oh man, this is going to be knuckle mania. Oh, and that's also a really thick cotter pin. I don't want to bend against the threads there. And thankfully, I've already put my thumb into this gear at the top. That felt really good. Come on. Ouch. Holy cow. There's some big cotter pins, and they're meaty. Like they're really, really thick and hard to bend. Holy cow. And I want to be careful not to pry against the threads of the axle, so I'm trying to do all this without a pivot. Wait, stop, don't roll here. Every time something slips, I ram my hands into these nice teeth, which are nice and sharp. Okay, we gotta grab. Oh, no, can't twist it anymore. Man, and this PTO shaft is, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a waste. I don't want to get tempted to do anything with it, but you can see my hand, I'm just so unsure of what to do next. We're trying next. Oh, man, remember that rotates. Okay, get in there, pry. Oh, man. Okay, well, see this part for you guys. Okay, the fun moment here where we finally yanked. That is a ginormous cotter pin, by the way, and it was difficult. It fought me, and I finally, using various prying instruments, got it out. So, okay, cotter pin out of the way. Are you guys ready for the comedy of the year? I mean, this is probably the funniest thing that I will ever produce. This nut is hand tight. Okay, maybe it's not hand tight, but it moves back and forth. So while I was tapping on it, trying to remove it, I just like, oh, of course it is. And let's see if we can tell how the threads work on it. It looks like a standard thread. So I'm going to use one of my brand new wrenches, probably the only time I'll ever use it. Let's see if it's a 2-inch nut. Nope, it's bigger. Okay, thank goodness I bought the other kit. 2 1/8. Nope. Okay. 2 1/4. Boy, I hope it's something I've got. Nope. Holy cow. I mean, biggest I can go is 2 1/2. Then we're making our own wrenches. Please, please, please. It's too big. Well, that is poetic. So let's see. 2 1/2 is too big. We didn't try 2 3/8. Maybe that's a second. Fit on there nice. Oh, much better. Okay. Yeah, there's no pressure being applied. I'm just gently rotating the axle and the nut's coming right off. Probably could have used my crescent wrenches. But now I've got these. Man. Imagine the mayhem I can cause with those. Oh, it's actually not hand tight. It's just that it's going to fall when it's finally loose, and I don't want to have to pick it up out of the bottom. Okay, so biggest nut that I've ever seen in my entire life. Man, that's a gnarly piece of steel. Big washer that goes with it. It's just a solid washer. Okay, so that's easy. Now the big question is this. Oh, it is. Look at that. It's loose. So if I can retract the axle, that gear will come right off of there. So let's try just a gentle tug on the axle. What's the worst that could happen, you know? Okay. A gentle... Nope. No way. There's got to be a bearing behind there. How, with maybe a great big nut that spins around that's holding it in? I honestly, I would rather take the seal off of this end because I have a replacement seal and find out that I can't further remove this than start taking all of this off. So let's do that. Why not? Well, that was a battle and a half, but we've got this side loose, which means with a couple of gentle taps. Yeah, am I wrong? Maybe not so gentle. Nothing. What is holding you on? Just the sheer will to live? Oh, there is a key in the keyway, but I should be able to manipulate this gently off of the shaft by just hitting right here. And maybe my problem is I'm using a dead blow instead of what I should be using. Let's see, where do we use it and leave it last? That's kind of my channel's specialty, is using a tool and leaving it on the floor where I use it last. Nope, it's not there. Oh, there you are. I must have used you next to the fish. Sorry, you guys have to listen to me go around my shop, talking to myself. Yeah! See that? Just needed some gentle manipulation. Oh yeah, that was easy. Oh, that was a beast. Okay, why did we take off that? Let me bring it down and show you. All of the cars, and I'm not suggesting this is a car, but all the cars I've worked on, especially the older ones, there is a ring type of nut right there that is pressing the axle against a bearing that's on here. Maybe it's a roller bearing and it needs pressure on this side, pushing it against the roller bearing, and that's what keeps it out here sturdy. There's a seal right here, and I have a replacement, so we're going to try to remove that seal. And a method that I know is to make little holes in it, put screws in it, and then slide hammer the screws out. So that's what we're going to do. Well, we have ourselves a little bit of a problem. In spite of all of the wrenches I bought, and all the other parts over there, and the tools scattered on the floor, the tools in there, I do not actually have a part of this slide hammer that I can readily and easily attach to a screw that I might burrow into that seal. This guy right here, obviously way too big. That's just a pin for this thing. These are meant for putting around bearings and pulling on, so these are go with this guy. This is an interesting fellow. You stick him in a hole, and then in theory those come apart, but look at the angle on those. Like, that's actually going to just motivate those to move back in. So I don't know how that one actually works. I don't think I've ever been successful using that one. The only one that is resembling anything that I want is this guy. And he's going to require kind of a awkward hole. And then that hole is going to obviously have some cuts in it. It's not going to be a nice, smooth, round hole. So if I start sliding and pulling on this, it's just going to, like a can opener all around that thing. But having said that, it's what I have right now. What I'd like to have is a vice grip welded to the slide hammer adapter, and I might just have to do that. But for now, I don't have it, so I'm going to drill some little holes, make them a little bit bigger, slam that thing into it, and try to can open this seal. So let's see how it goes. All right, we got a hole. It's just barely big enough for this thing to fit into. If I turn the corner, there we go. Let's just, oh yeah, it's walking right out. I don't know why I was worried. Factory. And no help at all. I don't see anything but the end of a bearing here. I was hoping to find a nut that I could manipulate a little bit and remove. It actually looks like another seal almost. Ooh, that doesn't sound happy. Huh, does that look like another piece of plastic in there? Let's see. We need a flashlight and a zoom. Stat. Let's see, we got the flashlight. We got zoom, maybe. No, let's focus. Zoom. Get the oil pan out of the way. That looks to me like another seal. Doesn't that look like another seal to you? Why are there two seals? Oh, we need to check the book. Hang on. Okay, I'm correct. There's only one oil seal on the outside. There is a bearing that goes outward. Teeth that we've already established aren't super tight, and another bearing. So I'll bet you it's part number 13 that's actually holding us in place, unless it's part number 15. What is that? 15 spacer. Yeah, I don't think that's what we're worried about. We want to be able to remove this shaft. There is a cup, a bearing, and an oil seal. There are not two oil seals, so I don't know what on earth that thing is. But since I don't understand it, and I'm nervous about making things worse, I'm going to just try to pull on that shaft for a minute. I don't think any of us appreciate how quickly this thing escalated. There's no movement. I'm not pulling that axle away from the tractor, and that makes perfect sense. Duh, it's held on tight. So I think the only option here, other than completely throwing the towel in and saying, I don't care about a differential lock, is to remove this axle housing. And I absolutely do want the differential lock, and I have a new motivation for it. A friend of mine went to a tractor pull at this county fair, and I want to do that next year with this tractor. I joined the Facebook club, and I'll get more details from them. But anyway, I gotta have a locking diff if I'm gonna have a prayer in that. So holy cow, I cannot believe I'm doing this. I'm gonna take off this half of the back of the tractor. I'll have to jack the thing back up, reassess my cribbing, make sure it's safe to do everything I want to do, and then I can't believe I'm doing this. Okay, well, high-speed video coming. Okay, that's been a beast to take off. I had to remove a whole bunch more accessories that I didn't think I would want to. And I'm down to all the bolts are out, so let's come out of the high speed and watch me try to, I only need to pull it like 3 inches this direction for me to be able to pull that gigantic gear out of the center. I should probably find a nice, there, I found one. There's a pallet over there that's clean on top. I'll put the gear on top of that. So, all right, here it goes. I have to wonder if letting the tractor down just a little bit so that it's sharing some weight on this jack stand that's there will help a little bit. So let me reposition the jack stand, and then we'll just put it down a little bit. There's no studs. They were all just bolts. So, okay, lifting now. No, not yet. Okay, so now some of the weight of this is on the jack stand. So if I come over here and I just kind of wiggle it, it feels like it's coming. Yeah, it's coming. I'm making a little mess. We actually have a long way to go. And if I keep pulling on this, there's going to be a bunch of weight on this side, I can tell. So probably the wise thing to do would be to put my engine hoist on this. So, okay, I was wrong. Give me a second. Let me bring that over here. It's currently holding up the Eagle lift system, so give me a minute. Okay, we have the center of it supported by the backhoe, or the front loader, sorry, that little piece there. We've got probably the bulk of the weight on that side of it. So I don't know why I put a hoist all the way over here, probably because I can't put the hoist further in. So we're gonna just try to balance it, if we can retract it enough to do so. So, man, why do I second guess myself all the time? Like all the time. But if I was to put a strap around the legs in here and tightened it up, this would become a stronger connection. But I don't know if I need it. So maybe it will tell us if we needed to do that by falling and breaking. And we should capture that in real time. That shouldn't be like a fast speed thing. Yeah, no, that's not budging anymore. Let's see, are you bound up in here? No. Are you bound up in there? I mean, I don't see why it could be. Has it fallen? Maybe it's fallen just a little tiny bit. Let's lift that up. No, we're pulling against something that is not being friendly and just releasing. Doesn't go any further. Does it just need a gentle nudge? Should we give it a gentle nudge? Let's be gentle. Give it a nudge. Oh yeah, it's this. It is still connected somehow to this. Are there pins? Oh man, this has me so nervous that I'm gonna lose this thing. All right, I'm putting another strap on it. See, I want a good quality strap. Yeah, I've come to the wrong shop. Thankfully, they're all like in pieces, but I got the strangest feeling that you're holding on to it, but you're not actually really holding on to it. So there, that ought to handle that. Yeah, if you find yourself working in a shop for periods of time all by yourself and you need a second hand, I highly, ooh, that's going to cut close. I highly recommend ratchet straps. They are forgiving when you break the snot out of them. I still want this thing closer. So I think the easiest way to do that is to lift this. Oh, I didn't even have to lift it. Okay. We'll have to loosen you to get this job done. No problemo. Okay, in. Oh yeah, doesn't that feel better? Okay, that's taking some of the weight now. So now it's just kind of up to us to control. If we stick that back there, it'll have a better chance. Where the lift is distributed. And we can kind of, boy, we could probably just lift it off, huh? Let's see. We want the tractor and this to move and not that. Let's lift the tractor a little bit. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, good. And then let's lift this again. Oh yeah, this is feeling like the right thing to do. Okay, right there. That feels really good. And we're no longer being supported by that, but is it still gonna? No, it can. We can move away. Okay, let's try again. Move away. Oh yeah. You know what? It's really smooth. When it's happy, that motion is very, very smooth. So let's lift a little bit more. Are we far enough out? I think we're actually far enough out that I can let the tractor down a little bit. Oh, look at that. I think we're actually... Holy cow. Well, that's the furthest I've ever taken a tractor apart in my entire life. We are in absolute uncharted territory now. Just completely new land. Oh, there's another set of teeth we can look at to see if they are why we're breaking, but I doubt it. I doubt it very much. Yeah, so there's our bearing, little oil, you know, because why not? Let's see if we can pull this out. Oh, it'll bring this all with it. Yeah, let's share that oil with some more places in my shop that haven't had the luxury of. Yeah, that worked pretty good. All right. And the oil thing is over here. That's a good place for it. I wish I would have thought about that a little bit. All right, overnight that's going to fall. So we may as well pre-fall it. So let's see. I think that fits under there. Sure. Okay, nice and easy. Okay, yep, falling. Okay, now the back. Oh yeah, the back is not going to fall on its own. Might be a problem for tomorrow, but there we go. Okay. Yeah, you guys are, you know, in the presence of a project that is further into a tractor teardown than I've ever been. And then, man, whenever I get nervous to do stuff, I always get distracted by other stuff to do. I'm nervous. This has me very anxious. It's nice to know there's no gasket holding this on. It's just an O-ring. So those are able to be purchased. Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, and it's heavy too. Oh. Okay. Moment of you guys need to come in here for this. This is what we've been waiting for. Let's see, can I do better than that? I'll bet I can. Okay. Pull all the way out. Sweet. I don't know what that is. The teeth all look really good. So let me go set this down. Put you back there. Nice. Man, I have been wanting to have that free for a while. There is some kind of gasket-like material in there, so that's curious. It's all broken down. There's our beautiful shaft. And here's the moment of truth for the whole video. We might have to, let me dry my hands off. This might be the end. I might call it tonight because I'm tired and my back hurts. Yeah, I know. Tell me something you don't already know. I think we're going to want a flashlight too. Okay, check this out. The shaft that we're very anxious and curious about. I'm having a hard time telling for sure if those teeth are messed up or not. Also, those gears all look really good. I'm very happy about that. So let's tap on this just a little bit. It should move out. Let's see, the other side is loose. Let's pull the other side out too. We don't want that bearing pounding up against stuff. And it should also retract just as easily. I mean, it looks like it's already there. Let's see. Oh man, it is still. Oh, I can't do it. I can't take the other back side off. Oh, it's not moving. It's not coming out. Let me fiddle for just a minute, but if I have to take the other side off, this might be the video tonight. I mean, for this video. That's a lot of work to do for one video. So give me 1 second here. Let's see, what can we do about moving the whole pinion over? Okay, yes, that worked. We moved the whole pinion over. But it doesn't free that anymore. Nope. No. Nope. Nope. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's call that a video. I know what you're saying, but it's only an hour long or so. But it's enough. I'm tired, and it'll be there tomorrow and next Saturday, which is probably when I'll work on it again next. And so that's a few days from now. So it's good to know that I can take the rear axles off. relatively easily. They're heavy enough, I don't want to try to mess with them by hand, so I'm glad I've got some lifting tools. That'll put this tractor basically resting only on this jack. I've had good luck with the jack, so that shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, we'll pull the other side off next time, and then we can get out with the PTO shaft in the way out there. Well, I don't know if even with that, I don't think I'm lifting that thing out of there until we pound the shaft out of the pinion. So let's get the delicate gear parts out of the way. I'll pack that whole area with some wood, and then we will pound on that shaft and see if we have to heat it, what we have to do to get it out of there. It's supposed to move back and forth freely. I'm pretty sure. Like I'm 99% positive that it needs to move to interlock with that other side. So I'll look at some stuff, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna do a bunch more of the same, so I probably won't film, at least I'll do it maybe in fast speed, taking off the other side, because I don't think there's any new things to learn there. And then when we start trying to pull that shaft out, I'll go back into slow motion. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you and your patronage. But yeah, this hobby is a fun one, and man, winning a tractor pull on this old thing, 68 something or other, there's a chance it won't qualify as a classic. I do need to think about that. But anyway, thank you so much again. Have a great night.